That's a pretty poetic kind of thing right there, 21 at 21. So I was like, okay, here we go.
So why don't you tell everybody what you do, what you have been doing, and what your current situation is right now, and maybe even a little backstory.
So I started the channel about on YouTube just about 2 years ago. I felt led and kind of like pushed into creating some content finally about my prison experiences that I went through. I had gotten locked up in 2003 and I was 21 years old. Subsequently was sentenced to 21 years in prison. And I was like, wow, that's a pretty poetic kind of thing right there, 21 at 21. So I was like, okay, here we go. And long story short, not going to get into that right now. Ended up doing 7.5 on it. I didn't want to talk about it for several years. This was just not something that I wanted to speak about with anybody. Maybe besides joking with some friends about some stuff like that, but talking about jail, talking about prison, talking about the experiences was kind of like salt on an open wound. So it took me a very long time to get around to it. And I've wrestled with the idea for like 4 months, real hard. I was like, I am not putting my face out there for the world to know that I'm a felon and never be able to get work again. Cause I'm working blue collar for the most part, jobs that I can get. So since then, YouTube's been good to me. It's Lockup Legends and Lessons over there. And TikTok just recently started really opening up for me in like pretty much like the last 10 days. Some pretty extraordinary view counts just popped up out of nowhere. And I mean, I had like 200 subs on there for like a year and a half. And then within the last week, I'm at 32,000. And for me, that's just absolutely mind blowing because I didn't think anybody wanted to hear this stuff. So I definitely don't glorify prison. I don't get into it talking about how like, yeah, let's go in and do all this stuff, how to stab guards or anything stupid like that. It's more about how to stay home, because it's something that I did. I've been home 13 years, I haven't been in trouble minus a speeding ticket. So I mean, there's wisdom to be found in it, and I'm trying to pass that along to some of the younger guys now. Now that I'm feeling like I actually can do this.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. I'll be honest with you. You had to keep your nose clean just to be able to turn that into 7 years to begin with.
You ain't lying, brother. That
Yeah.
that could have run that bit up real quick, real easy. One wrong move, and when I look back on it, I was blessed because when I did get out, if I would have gotten in any trouble in prison, which I did not, I got all my kicks out in the county jail, which was about 10 months or so. Got some fights, some stupid stuff there. Learned how to fly under the radar through prison, kept my nose clean, avoided a lot of the stupidity. And if I would have made one mistake, I would have missed my grandfather's funeral. And because he died like 6 days after I came home. And this man came to see me every single month when I was all the way up in prison. He drove 4 hours each way. And so, yeah, there's something to be said for keeping your nose clean because you never know what it could take from you. And that's something that I probably would never forgive myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that would have haunted you without a doubt. Yeah, I don't believe in mistakes because there's no way you would have sit a week just enough to take a shower, get
Yeah.
your mind right enough so you can look at people correct without anything. Whew, I couldn't imagine, man. I couldn't imagine.
It's a chalk line you got to walk, but if you do it, it can reward you, and if you don't, it can really punish you even more severe.
So, how much reading did you do while you were in there? 7 years is a long time to reflect, man.
I read a lot. I got to the point where I didn't want to read anymore for like a year. I was like, I'm good. I'll play cards. I mean, I picked stuff up, but I wasn't like as voracious with it, tearing books apart. Read a lot. I like to get into the classics when I could because, a lot of the newer stuff, not knocking it. We didn't have too many Stephen King novels in there because they would always get taken from the library or guys wouldn't come off of them if they had them in their cells. So you had to get the classics kind of because it was a matter of what was available. So I'd read some more stuff like that, old literature. Even got into Shakespeare for a while. Guys used to make fun of me when I was in the dorms. They're like, "Hey, what's up, King Lear?" I'm sitting there reading out of my bunk. Everybody's fighting in the corner, and I'm just like, "Man, this place is stupid." But yeah, I love to read. I haven't as much since I come home, obviously, but absolutely, absolutely got into it, and yeah, I did read a bunch.